We are still on the same day. We just did our remaining pickled peppers, and we're continuing on now with our orange Oxheart tomatoes. These tomatoes are a Virginia heirloom, and Andy and I have never grown these before, but they come in late in the season. So they are very disease resistant and will produce late into the season. And we're going to go ahead and make some sauces from this, or at least maybe one sauce from this. So take a look at these. These are pretty unique. I mean, they're just absolutely beautiful. And they are in the shape of a heart when you cut them open. So I guess that's where they get their name from. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to weigh some of these and just kind of see what we yielded this year. Okay, so this is the packet. We started our seedlings in March, and we even have more of these on our property that they fell off. We just didn't get to them in time. But the weight of these is what's so impressive. So these can be a fruit size of 1 to 2 pounds. And that is what we understand. Ours are probably less than that in just weighing a few of them. But you can see that these are 8.9 ounces. I mean, regardless, look at the size of these. They're huge. I love the marble look on some of them, the different colors. I'm looking forward to cutting into those, see what they look like. But let's see. I think probably the biggest one here would be this one. Pretty meaty. So this is at 13.6 ounces. So again, I mean, just a huge, nice, meaty tomato. So we're going to go ahead and get started and get these cut up. Okay, so what we're going to do is we've got our pan lined with some tin foil. We're just going to go ahead and we're going to cut out the core. Of each of these. So these actually get to be a size of 1 pound, and Andy and I just weighed our yield that we have over there on the table, and it was, what was the total?
9 pounds.
9 pounds. So, not bad for our first time, and growing these from seed. Stuck in there. Okay. All right, so all I'm simply going to do is I'm going to go ahead and cut these up into halves. I'm going to place them on my tray, and we'll go ahead and get some olive oil drizzled on there. Look at that. What I love about these that we understand is there's not many seeds in here. In fact, Andy wanted me to save some of the seeds, but you can clearly see it's more meat than it is seed. And look at the heart shape. How cute is that? So we're just going to go ahead and we're going to place these on our pan with the flesh down and continue cutting them up. right, so we got in place on our pan, and we're just going to go ahead and add some olive oil and some garlic. Okay, we're going to go ahead and set our oven for 400. Get that preheated. We've got a middle rack setting. Drizzle these with some olive oil. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to leave the skin on our garlic and have some cloves roasting with those as well. All right, when that preheats, we'll put it in there for 30 minutes. Okay, guys, so we went ahead and made 2 panfuls, and I'm going to go ahead and get these in the oven that is now heated on 400 degrees for 30 minutes, and then I'm going to switch it over to broil after that for an additional 10 minutes. Okay, guys, we'll be back. It has been 30 minutes for the roasting, and it's been in the broil setting for 3 minutes. I think I said 10 previously. It's 3 minutes. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these out. Be careful because it's got that, olive oil in there. Look at that. Oh my God. And it smells amazing in here. I'm going to go ahead and set these aside and wait until they are... I did another pan because we decided to cook them all up. Okay, guys. So these are both sitting out. I put this pan on, or maybe it was this pan on the broiler for another 3 minutes because this was underneath this one since I couldn't fit that in the oven on the same shelf. But, yeah, I'm going to let those cool to the touch, and then I'll show you what's next. I'm going to show you something that I was working on. So remember, we did our toothache plant, our spilanthes in whiskey in August, and I just finished up the rest of our harvest and did these in vodka. So yeah, I want to try both the whiskey and the vodka and see how that works out. So I got those finally fully processed and ready to move forward with letting that plant. I don't know if it goes to seed or it's a perennial. I'm not sure. I need to do a little bit of research. So I'm looking at my seed packet, and yeah, it's an annual. Okay, so I will need to plant that. Getting through the rest of our harvest. Earlier today, Andy had continued with our stringing of the cayenne peppers. These are our, what we think are banana peppers. I'm not sure. I don't know how to tell because the head looks just like the cayenne, but the size, I don't know. We need to do a little bit of research on that. But these are our dried okra that actually are pretty to hang. And then what you do is, I'll get one and I'll show you what I mean. But they're over here as well. So I think that's a cute idea. And then he's got the pepperoncinis that he strung for me over here for making some pepper red flakes. So I wanted to show you. These are pretty small, so we didn't hang these up, but this is what the okra, this is going through the phase. So obviously these are woody, and actually they're real soft now because they're starting to rot, and we're either going to let those dry out like this, or just, this is our first time letting them dry out to seed to this capacity of color, and it's just like hard as a rock, really. It's like woody, literally like wood. It's so pretty, but can you hear that? Got my dishwasher going, but I'm sure you can hear that. Yeah, all the seeds are in there, and you can just break these open and get your seeds. And I'll tell you, this right here is about a pack of seeds. So, okay, we're going to go ahead and finish up with the tomatoes, just letting them cool down. We'll be back. Okay, we are going to go ahead and remove all of the tomatoes. I'm looking for my light. There we go. Okay, what we're going to do now is we're just going to simply take our let's see, I'm going to do this here and this one here so you can see. Okay, so I'm just going to simply remove the skin like that. Just pull it off. Should come off pretty easy. That's why I'm using gloves. You should just pinch right off of the flesh of the fruit. Okay. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the flesh and just drop it into my pot. And then with your garlic, what you're going to do, same kind of process, is if you just squeeze it, that skin will come right off, and drop your garlic in there. See how that just comes right out? You could just, it just came right out. Actually fell out on here. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and continue through this and get both trays put in here. olive oil with the garlic. It's so wonderful that I think you want to add it. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to show you this. This is going to need to reduce. You can see all the liquid in there. That's going to need to reduce some. And then once that goes down some, we'll go ahead and we'll get started on getting that pureed. Okay, I went ahead and I transferred this over to a smaller pot because it has reduced and it's still going to continue to reduce when I put it on the stove. What I'm going to do now is just go ahead and puree it before I put it on the stove top. So that really pureed nicely, the consistency. I've done it before with this, and I ended up having to put it in the, well, we call it a blend tech, but basically like a food processor, a lot faster. But I am liking that consistency, so I think I'm going to go ahead and stop there and put it on the stovetop. Okay. Now what you want to do is you want to add the flavorings that you want, and I'm just going to simply add in some of our dehydrated oregano. And I'm going to do 2 pinches of that since we doubled our original half a dozen of tomatoes. There's a dozen now, so, and then I'm going to do 2 teaspoons one, 2 of Redmond's real salt. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put in some red pepper. Put 2 teaspoons of that in. I'm going to go ahead and puree that together. Alright, now that I've got that mixed together, I'm going to go ahead and put it on the stove top. Simmer. I'm going to leave that on the stove top for about an hour to let that reduce. Okay guys, it has been an hour. So this has really thickened up nicely. You can see where it's reduced. It started at about that height. So I'm going to go ahead and, oh, it smells really good. Really good. I just love the color. I'm going to go ahead and get this cooled down, and I'm going to put it in a jar, and I'm going to have it with some pasta one day this week.